think it's live. It says I'm live, so that should be good, I think. These lights really got me blown out in this. Even this. Maybe I should use these other lights. I got one person watching. Okay, doing something a little different today. My office is a huge mess right now. But the first thing I want to say is I'm not sure if I'm going to continue this live series because there hasn't been much interest in the last two that I did, and in fact I actually lost viewers. You can on my analytics it actually says people that watch those videos unsubscribe. So maybe y'all just don't like my live streams. I don't know. But anyway, not doing the news today. I'm just gonna tell you what's going on in the world of Technoscope right now, or in TwistedCurve Productions in general. I am working on the office, getting some things reorganized, and put up some new shelves this week or this weekend, and really pretty much getting ready to shift gears, I guess you want to say. I know I have kind of talked about production changing, but instead of gearing up to produce more videos, I think what I want to do is gear up to produce higher quality content. I have this whole shelf over here that I just put up this weekend. Let me show you what's going on. Let me show you what's going on. Okay, so this shelf right here, this massive shelf, 5x5, is a IKEA shelf. Of course, I'm a YouTuber, so everything has to be IKEA. This stuff down here, those three, these two, and these two are review products. Everything in these first three are products that need to be reviewed, but I have touched and I'm not currently using, or they just completely need to be unboxed, reviewed, and everything. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff over there. This content right here usually doesn't account for many views on my channel. So even though I could flood the channel with videos, like at least one a day for about a month or so, I'm not too enthusiastic to do that stuff. This stuff right here is stuff that needs to be, or these two right here, stuff that needs to be reviewed. It's actually in use, but I haven't done a video on them yet. And the ones over here, these two are things that are already completed. Videos are already up and everything. I'm gonna eventually get this stuff cleared out of here, but most of this stuff, most of the things like these kind of items, are probably gonna start going away on this channel. I get emails every day from companies that want me to review their stuff, and the problem is a lot of that stuff people on my channel just don't want to see. So probably going to clear that stuff out and move away from that. I do have a plan. I'm gonna talk to you about it in a moment. But anyway, this is my gigantic IKEA shelf. This thing is huge. This I think it's 72 inches tall, which I believe puts it at 6 feet, and it's completely square, so it takes up, I don't know if I can back up enough for this, it takes up that entire wall by itself. Don't worry about that door. That door is where the hot water heater is, so unless some repair is being done, nobody accesses that door, and the shelf can be moved pretty easily for easy entry into that. This right here is my studio setup. This This is where we record the Sports Cave on my sports channel, which I was actually watching prior to starting this. We also did the Nerd Unpacked intro video over there. It's pretty much where most of the things are going to be recorded from now on. Thinking about replacing this table. The black tablecloth is definitely going to be cleaned this weekend because we got a local celebrity coming in to do the sports cave next Sunday. So that needs to either be cleaned or replaced. It gets a lot of use these days. But I'm thinking about replacing the black cloth and the dark gray drapes with white, and going back to the white theme like I had in my last office. I'm not really sure. The problem with white is it gets dirty, and it looks a lot worse than that does. So I'm not really sure. But yeah, got my sound dampening foam there. I do want to add 2 to the top and 2 to the bottom because they're kind of in the range where the microphones are, and the whole point was to stop the echo. I was gonna put some on that wall, but now that shelf is there, that problem's completely solved. I have a video about these lights up here if you want to see that on the channel. They're RGB, so they do their preset colors. I think there's 20 of them or 16 or something like that. This shelf over here is the one I'm most excited about. I just put this up last night. Let me get this light out the way so you can kind of see it. The shelf, if you can't tell, the shelf is pretty huge. 4 feet by 2 feet, and I think 6 feet tall as well. This shelf right here, especially the top one, which has the most space, and this one right here, are going to hold computer components. And the reason that I'm doing that is because one of the big things I'm going to start doing on this channel is building computers. And it's not just building computers and showing stuff off. I'm going to be building computers, hopefully boutique computers, things that look nice, and selling them, and then using that to make my content. Let's see. Gary says, nice setup. You use my Wasabi Mango 55. I don't fade away yet. PlayStation 4 Pro with VR. I like the IKEA. Yeah. Crap. iPhone. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. I don't know if I've talked a lot about this on live stream. I definitely done some talking about it in my previous office videos. All this stuff right here, PS4, the Shield, the 2 classic minis, the Xbox One, all this stuff right here is hooked through a switch. If you see this little thing right here, this is a infrared sensor. There's a video switch. There's actually an Apple TV down there as well. There's a video switch, and those cables that are down there that go up that back leg to the desk actually allow me to switch inputs on this monitor and play all that stuff on the screen, as well as there's a splitter in that same component, and one of those cables that are bundled together going back there to the back of the computer is an HDMI, so I can actually capture that video. When I get this office completely set up how I want it, I'll probably take down my live stream equipment and then do a video on how everything works in here. There is a very good point for everything in this office. Everything is very well thought out, and everything that I do has a lot of thought behind it. There's nothing that's just random in here. I just put up my whiteboard. If you remember my old office, you'll know that I was supposed to do a whole series on teaching electronics theory, and that was like over a year ago when I did the first episode, and still haven't done anything else on it. But for anything that I want to talk about and I need to draw diagrams, that's what the whiteboard is for. Yeah, That's Sledgehammer. I've actually been considering an upgrade, or not necessarily an upgrade, but maybe changing out some of the parts. As you can see, one of the 1080 Ti's has been taken out, and that was actually due to necessity. I needed a second capture card. I needed a second capture card more than I needed a second GPU, actually, so that I can capture not only the camera. We do the live stream from the camera through one of those capture cards, but I also want to be able to capture a camera as well as things on the computer screen, or one of the game systems or something. So I needed that second capture card in there. I went that route because those things are about $190 a piece. There is a USB one made by Epiphan, but the problem is that one is like $4.99, I believe, each, and I need at least two, so that was definitely the cheaper way to go. So pulled that other GPU, and for the moment it's sitting here on the shelf next to my old Radeon. It will probably end up in the first PC that I end up building to sell. So I don't know. If I'm not going to be using it, at least I can make some money with it. And since GPUs are pretty hard to come by at the moment, that might end up being what that's for. I've always wanted to do a build where I'm using a single slot, which is actually possible with these, because unlike most other video cards, the Founders Edition 1080 Ti doesn't have a DVI slot taking up a top spot, so you can actually on a water-cooled system get this down to a single slot card, which is probably what I'll end up doing if I do a nice build for it. But you'll have to stay tuned for that. Yeah, no kidding. My wife tells me about that all the time. That's the fourth microphone up there. We will be using that for the live stream next week. This is one of the other reasons I wanted this shelf, is because I needed this space up here. That's my slider. This right here, I could probably sell this. This is the backdrop kit that I had in my early videos. The one where I had that wrinkled black background behind me. That's what that is up there. It'll stand up to 12 feet long, 12 feet high, and the cloths that I have, which are down here, I have a black, a white, and a green for a green screen. They're 12 or 14 by 20 feet. They're huge. They're huge backdrops. Probably will never need that in this house. I might do like a green screen, but see how I have this board over here? Normally in this setup we have the curtains over this wall, so you wouldn't see that whiteboard. So what I was thinking is, on that side I might put a green screen up against the wall, and that way if I ever need a green screen, I can just pull the curtain back and do that. It's my printer desk over there. The old shelf that I was using has become I guess my library. Has a bunch of my old textbooks on there. I have a lot more books that are gonna go in here as well. Probably end up filling that up with that stuff, as well as things for the printers. My PLA could probably take up 2 of those cubes by itself. So I don't know. And this was the desk that my wife was supposed to be using. Most of that stuff is hers, but she rarely uses that desk because I need a place to build computers, and I can't dedicate that table over there to it. I'll probably end up repurposing this desk for the workstation for me to do my building. But I still will probably have a second computer in here, so I'm not really sure how that'll be handled yet. And I definitely need I'll definitely need a second monitor for the computers that I'm building. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. in here. Do you guys have any questions about anything? If there's anything you want to know about, I mean, now is the time to ask. I have plenty of stuff in here I could tell you about. But really what this video was about is just, this is what's going on with my office. This is how things look now. Or for a moment, there's as you can see, I don't know if you can see it with all that light. Those are the boxes for that shelf. So remember the first video when I moved into this office, or the old office? The old office was a pretty big moment for my channel. This office was huge. This office, if you remember when I first moved into this house, this entire office was filled with boxes because everything we didn't know where to put went into this office. So yeah, this office, yeah, it's come a long way. I think there's gonna be some great things coming along. Oh, and I guess I should go ahead and mention this on the channel. This shouldn't really affect anything I'm doing here, but I've been looking at taking on extra work. The what do you call it? The ad revenue and the affiliate links on my channel. Everything, well, I can't say the every revenue has been about the same regardless. But the affiliate revenue dropped off significantly several months ago. And it looked like what was happening was Google was placing these links under my videos, my popular videos, and it looks like they made it look like it was links that I was placing there that actually had pictures of products that were what I was talking about in the video. And I think people started clicking those instead of expanding the description to click on my links. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, my revenue just fell off the face of the earth. So in conjunction with that and the 3 or 4 months that I was down moving into this house, the income became pretty much non-existent. So to get views back up, I completely demonetized the entire channel, so you shouldn't see any ads on any videos I do on this channel anymore. As far as, and that should get rid of the links that Google was placing on there. They made it mandatory. It wasn't something I could remove without demonetizing, so demonetized it was. I'd rather have affiliate revenue than ad revenue, because the affiliate revenue was like at least, I would say, 10 times more than what I was getting for the ad revenue. The difference was ridiculous. But yeah, I think once I get to doing those computer builds, filling that shelf up with computer parts, and getting that going, I hope to do at least 2 builds a month, maybe more. I don't know. They're gonna be, for the most part, high-end computers. I'm not gonna build, you know, just little low-end stuff. I might do that occasionally. I'll probably start taking custom orders, so it depends on what they want. But I do want to do like 1 or 2 high-end builds a month, water-cooled, you know, the works. And I'll just do videos and things over that. This other stuff won't completely go away. If it's something that I need, I'll probably review. But as far as just bringing in product just for the sake of reviewing it, that stuff will probably go away. Yeah. I don't know what else to say, but I hope you love the sledgehammer. Yeah, it was very educational for me. It was the first time I've ever built or dealt with a computer that had 2 CPUs. Right now, I probably have it running about as fast or as good as possible for what it has in it. The CPUs in it, they're 18 core. Both CPUs are 18 core CPUs for a total of 36, total of 72 threads. They're normally clocked at 2.3 gigahertz, but the way that most Intel CPUs run is they can run 1 or 2 cores per CPU, at a very high clock speed relative to what the base clock speed is. So when it's running multiple cores, it usually clocks up to around 2.7, 2.8 gigahertz. But when it's running one of those single threaded tasks, it's very, very common for it to get up to around 3.5, 3.7 now. So it's not as bad as it used to be. I've learned a lot about the tweaks. The BIOS is what I call the BIOS from hell, because there are I counted at one time, I think there's 15 tabs in there, and each one has something like 15 or 20 columns of options. It is the worst BIOS I've ever dealt with. I guess relative. It gives you more flexibility, but at the same time, it's like a pain in the butt. Like, what does this do, and how does it affect everything? So I don't know. Anyway, if you have any questions, leave those down below. I don't know if I'll do any more of these live streams for the time being, because they don't seem to be very popular. If you want me to, I will, but I need you to let me know that ahead of time. That's really what I love. I've always been a tech enthusiast, but since I was 3 years old, I've always had a thing for computers. Built my first when I was in middle school, and I've been building them ever since. So yeah, that's definitely something I want to get back to. This channel has taken so many turns since I started. I've gotten away from the things that I really love to things that I'm less enthusiastic about, but I enjoy. But what I want to do is take it back to the passion aspect, which is mostly computers. So yeah, I'm going to get back into that stuff. So if you have any questions or suggestions, comments, any of that stuff, leave those in the link below. And I guess that'll be it for today. My name is Elemento, and this is TechnoScope.